Oh, baby, baby, how was I supposed to know?
All right, let's try it.
Something wasn't right here.
We just gotta always start with a Sean song.
Never mind. It's gonna. Woo! Ric Flair. All right, we can actually start.
All right, let's try this again. Hey, we're back. Let's go.
Woo,
This feels really weird.
That was a weird start.
Yeah, we're trying to record this episode like a couple hours ago, and we kind of got like interrupted, and so we're kind of like doing this over again. So it feels odd, but we're gonna try our best. Hey, welcome back, everyone, to the Youth Encounter podcast. We are back. We're so excited. Just be back, hanging again.
We're here.
Yeah, we haven't talked since the last time we did this.
It's been a while.
Yeah, we literally haven't said any words.
It's
Like
been
at
a
all.
long day without all them, my friends. But I'll
been
tell them
blowing
about
up.
it when I see them again.
Yeah, you will.
So what's
Yeah,
up?
so
what are we doing?
yeah, we got a full agenda today. Once again, this is kind of weird because we already did this.
Yeah.
But we're gonna try this again.
That's okay, though.
Yeah, we're introducing a new segment today. Dun dun dun. It's called, drum roll please, Debate.
What kind of drum was that? The beat?
Debate.
The beat.
Yeah, not like
To
Dwight
the beat
Schrute,
of mine.
Not like Dwight
to the
Schrute,
beat of
debate.
mine. To
but
the beat
like
of
debate.
mine. Oh.
But eat,
But debate.
like debate instead
Okay.
of debate. Here's how this works.
Oh.
We're putting two foods to the challenge today.
Okay.
One has to go, and it is your job to
Forever.
debate.
So you're not allowed to eat that.
No,
It doesn't
Fair.
exist.
like it
does-
literally
as
will
if it never
leave.
Do you have a memory of it though?
Sure.
Oh.
Why not?
That could change things.
That does.
Really? I don't think so.
It's just fun to say that could change
But,
things. It makes it sound more impactful.
If it doesn't change anything, it
All right,
just
here's.
sounds like it did.
I asked these guys beforehand their opinions on these two foods, and I know
Okay.
they have differing opinions.
Yes,
so
we do.
here we go: pizza versus ice cream.
One's
Sean,
gotta
I
go.
know you're a pizza fan. Would you like to elaborate? a
Yes,
little
yeah.
bit?
I would choose pizza, and I would eliminate ice cream.
Okay.
And I love ice cream. I mean, I do want to start with that. I think ice cream is amazing.
No offense to ice cream.
You got the Holy Trinity, Chocolate Trinity, right?
It's amazing.
At Publix. I mean, Publix premium ice cream, Moose Tracks. Like, I love ice cream. So even though I'm choosing pizza, I do want you guys to know that is my heart. I do love ice cream.
When he's off camera, though, he says he hates ice cream.
It means a lot to me. It's been a huge part of my life. But overall, though, like, I can't imagine a world without pizza. I mean, think about it. Like, if you're hungry and there's free pizza, you're always going to take the free pizza. Pizza is just good. Even bad pizza is good. I don't know if you guys have ever had like bad pizza, like at a bowling alley or something. It was still good. Like it's impossible to. You can't mess up pizza as bad as it can be, and it's an easy thing. Everyone likes it. Everyone likes pizza. I'm just saying. Even
Vegetarians?
yes,
Is that what
there
you're
you
trying
go.
to
I
say?
couldn't find
That's the word.
I couldn't find the word. I didn't
That's
want
the
to
word.
say anything inappropriate
You didn't
or
wanna insult
offensive. But like, man, there you go. You could still have cheese pizza. You could have cheese and mushroom pizza. You eat fish actually, so
I
you
do.
could have anchovies on your pizza,
Anchovy.
right?
That's
Salmon
disgusting.
pizza. I think overall
Salmon.
pizza's like an actual meal, and I think everyone likes it. So that's the beginning of my argument.
Your rebuttal, Javin.
All right, I'm gonna have to disagree. I think that although pizza is good, I'm gonna start the same way you did. I love pizza. I'm a huge pizza fan. I think there are other things that can replace pizza as a meal. There's plenty of options that you can take as a meal to fill you up other than pizza. I just don't think there's an equivalent replacement for ice cream. So as great as ice cream is, there's nothing that can fill those shoes. And so if I were to eliminate one from my life as if it never existed, I don't think I would, especially if I had a memory of it, I don't think I would miss pizza as much as I would miss ice cream. Because I'd eat other foods as a meal and be like, that was still good. Like, I can still find enough good things to eat for food as a meal to still be satisfied. I would not be able to find something that would match ice cream and still be satisfied.
Let me throw this out there, though.
Okay.
Can you eat pizza cold or hot?
I can't. I can't eat cold pizza.
But a lot of people do. Cold pizza's pretty
True.
good.
I don't like cold
I
pizza.
don't really
Can you
ever
eat
cold
ice
pizza,
cream
though.
cold or hot?
Well,
Answer the question, Javin. Answer the question.
that doesn't make sense because it's the purpose of the debate
Huzzah! I win.
That doesn't make sense. Huzzah!
I win.
Ice cream accomplishes the purpose that it does. That's why I think it's irreplaceable.
But the thing is, pizza doesn't even have a purpose it has to accomplish because it accomplishes all of them.
I will also disagree. Bad pizza is bad. Like if you have bad pizza,
But you still eat it.
it's still bad.
Still fills you.
I would put
That
it away.
cardboard with that cheese that just falls right off, you know?
All right, let me throw out this
not
question.
good.
Would you rather go to an ice cream party or a pizza party?
Oh, I think a pizza party. Too. Like you're only going to have like one bowl of ice cream, but you're going to eat like 8 slices of pizza. Like would
Sure.
you rather go to like a CC's or an ice cream
CC's.
Well,
buffet?
here's the thing.
Oh.
I'm thinking about the
love
financial part of this decision, and the meal being covered is probably more important. Because if you go to an ice cream party, you got to eat lunch or dinner before. But that's the original question. Is not that.
How about this? You go to Little Caesars, right? $5 hot and ready pizza, right? Full pizza.
Yeah.
You can feed a family of 8 if everyone gets one slice.
Family of
Okay.
8.
Family of 4, everyone gets 2 slices.
A
All right.
gallon of ice cream is about the same price.
Okay. But you're not feeding everyone. You're not. And I'm not talking about going to the store and buying a gallon of ice cream. I'm talking you go to an ice cream shop.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
paying
this is a
$8
whole different
for
question.
a cup.
This is a
For
whole
a
different
cup.
question.
You're
I
paying
mean,
$8 for a
if you
cup.
go into like the financial decisions of this, that's a whole different
That's a
question.
part of it. It's a part of it.
No, but I'm saying as if one never existed was the original question.
No, you have the memory of it, he said.
I know, but still,
So
you
it's-
have the memory of it. If I had the memory of pizza,
Like it would
And
have
8
to
other
go
foods.
away.
that's what I'm saying.
It's like
Yeah.
it would just right now disappear.
There's a lot of other cheap options for food that you could get that could replace a meal. There's just nothing that could replace ice cream.
But like
I feel
if
like
you
you
have-
have other desserts.
But like if you have really good ice cream compared to having really good pizza, what's more like memorable?
Gosh,
That's
the
a whole
pizza.
nother question,
The
too.
pizza too. Like you go to like what's the place with the really deep dish in
Giordano's.
yes, like
The
you go
Chicago
there
style.
and you get that.
Is that even pizza?
Oh, that stuff is scrumptious, diddly-umptious. Like I don't know. And I've had good ice
That's
cream
what
before.
Sean says in restaurants. I'd
Like-
like to speak to the chef. This was scrumptious
Just diddly
diddly-umptious, if you know what I mean.
But like, I've been to a million ice cream places, but it's not like I go to people like, you gotta go here and you gotta get like it's all good.
I
But when you
definitely
have-
do that.
When you have really good, really good pizza, like that sticks out in a different way. It touches you different, man. It just does.
So weird.
I don't know. I still think if I were to have to get rid of one of them,
Yeah.
I couldn't go on without knowing that I could never have ice cream again. If I knew I'd never have to have pizza again, I could live with that. I couldn't live without.
Really?
not
I'm
having
just
ice cream.
not. I'm not a sweets person that much. So I mean,
What's
just
wrong with people from Sweden?
no, not Swedes.
Oh.
Swedes. T.
I was gonna say sorry to all of our viewers in Sweden.
gonna-
It's actually our second biggest viewer base of this podcast.
But
We're
I
gonna
will.
get censored in Sweden.
I will say, even though I don't like sweets that much, one thing I can like always have is ice cream.
Yep.
So I don't know. I feel like I'm super torn. I don't know.
Of course.
You gotta pick.
Take the middle
Pick
ground.
right now.
What you're getting rid of?
Ice cream.
Ah,
man.
there's my huzzah moment.
It's
all
just
right.
it's just the meal. It's just like I like meals more than I like dessert.
That's all right. That's fine. The
So-
viewers will confirm.
And
who's right.
I have a lot of desserts I like. Instant pudding. I'm on an instant
Okay,
pudding
that
kick
one's
right
weird.
now.
That one's weird.
Oreos and milk.
You're not helping your case.
Oreos and milk.
I love
right.
key lime pie.
I'd miss ice cream, but not that much. But I love ice cream.
I miss it too much. That's
Yeah.
the problem.
All right.
What's
there
your
we
favorite
go.
ice cream?
My favorite ice cream?
Yeah.
I was probably gonna say like
It's
vanilla.
most like chocolate-based stuff, but like I love the blizzards from Dairy Queen. It's like if I am gonna treat myself to something, it's like I'm gonna go get a chocolate blizzard with Reese's cups at Dairy Queen. It's amazing.
I feel like I'm an old person because whenever I get Blizzards, I get mint with Oreos. Like mint.
not-
I feel like mint is like an old
It
people
kind of
ice
is.
cream.
You're an old
I
soul.
get pistachio ice cream with.
My grandpa always gets maple walnut. It's the
Really?
weirdest
That's an
thing.
old person
Yeah.
ice
That's
cream
the
too.
weird. And like the cherry. Have you ever seen like the cherry one? Like
There's like a cherry flavor.
but it's got like cherries in
Cherry
it too.
chunks.
It's kind of
I've
gross.
seen that
Ugh.
before.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
I like
Alright.
the brownie batter.
Now I'm hungry. Now I want some ice cream.
Okay, that was interesting. I gained a new perspective on.
Good.
Yeah.
I feel like we're all walking away better.
Yeah, better than we were before. There
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
there's a lot of tension built up.
I'm a better person because of what just happened, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll take it.
sweet.
After
All right,
winning.
let's jump in real quick. As well
Good job.
done.
Let's jump it in.
Nailed it.
As I feel like this week especially, like we had that training.
Yep.
For those of you who don't know, we just went to like a really long meeting kind of about like research done in South Florida. And a lot of it was about millennials and Gen X and boomers. But as people who are in the field of like Gen Z and like youth, it was very interesting even to see the stats and how it could even trend towards like Gen Z, even though it wasn't explicitly stated. Just got me thinking about like Gen Z as a whole. And so I just wanted to ask you guys, like, what are your thoughts on like the generation that you currently like invest in like every single day? Like, how do you guys think Gen Z is different than other generations?
Yeah, I mean, I think this generation is the generation that all the teenagers are currently in right now. That's the
That's
generation.
good. That is good.
So if you're a
Insightful.
teenager right now, like you are Gen Z. I think those are just really my thoughts.
Those
about
are-
it.
That's deep, man.
Those are
Yeah.
that's how they are separate from other generations.
Yeah, it's like other
They're
generations.
not teenagers.
Right.
What's crazy is they're called other things.
Yeah.
Like Gen X, millennials, boomers, all that stuff. But like this generation specifically is called Gen Z, and I just think that's
That's
Yeah.
really good.
that's what they're called.
And you can't like mistake the other generations for Jay-Z, but Gen Z, if you say it fast enough, you might confuse the
could.
two.
It's
You, like,
possible.
oh wow, is he talking about Jay-Z or like teens of today? I don't know.
You never know.
I used to confuse Gen X with the old Disney, not Disney Channel, but there was a channel, sub channel of Disney called Jet X.
Jet X.
It was like
Really?
the cool version of Disney.
The
It had like
cool.
Power Rangers and like
Is that like what Disney XD is now?
yeah, it turned into Disney XD, but it was
Yeah,
called
oh my
Jet
gosh.
X. That's what it was called.
I don't really
Nice.
remember that. All right, so in all seriousness, oh my goodness, this generation, I feel bad for, not in a mean way, but
Yeah.
I think you guys are probably growing up in one of the hardest times, literally ever.
Yeah.
When I was in middle school and high school, and I don't want to be that old person that's like when I was your age, but like I didn't care about politics. Like it didn't flood everything of my life. There wasn't social media. It wasn't like I was actually allowed to be a kid. And I don't feel like Gen Z really gets to be. Like I feel like they're forced to with all the technology, with all the social media, all the stuff on the news. Like you guys have been forced to grow up so much faster, I feel like, in a lot of ways. I think to grow up a lot faster, I don't even know the best way to describe it because it's not necessarily mentally, but I think what you're exposed to, you have to grow up a lot faster. But the way our bodies, our brains, all that stuff develop, that's still behind all that stuff you're exposed to, and it just creates a weird world for Gen Z, and it's sad. Like you guys don't really get to truly have your childhood, but you still should. And your body and brain tells you it wants to, but you've been exposed to so much stuff in the world today that it's like you have to almost leave those things behind, and that stinks. Like my greatest memories are growing up in the 90s and all my Nickelodeon shows and all that stuff.
I see what you
Get it,
did.
that show. And y'all don't know a world without any of that stuff, without Wi-Fi, without smartphones, without social media. And it's just, I think it's made it harder to grow up in this world. or to live in this world, not
Yeah.
necessarily grow up.
No, that's for sure. I think one of the biggest things that stands out to me, we talked about this at our training that we went to, is Gen Z is probably the most ambitious generation that we've ever seen. And I think that can be very positive because they believe they can change the world. They want to actually go and do it. You know, they want to make a difference in the world around them. Like Gen Z actually cares about things that are meaningful and significant, which is good. But I think there's also kind of a dark side of ambition when you separate that from like values and morality can lead you down so many different paths of like, I'm ambitious about 100 million different things. Therefore, I am not really making a difference in any of them because I want to do everything. And so I think that's part of the thing that we see with this generation. One of the things I see too is just the pressure. Like there's so much pressure to try to achieve and be something. You look at millennials, like our generation, Sean, like there was pressure, I guess, to like do stuff. But like you said, you could be a kid. Like if you hadn't thought about college yet and you were a freshman or sophomore in high school, it's like you got time. Like you can relax a little bit, you know, like things will end up working out. You can end up working hard and still get to where you want to be. I feel like nowadays, if you haven't thought about college in 6th grade, like you're behind, you know, and it's crazy to think about that, but it's true. You know, there's so many pressures that are placed on you to do the certain thing that everyone else is doing or to look like everybody else. And social media plays such a huge part in that because you see a profile of someone on Instagram who you're supposed to be like and supposed to mimic, and this is the model that you're supposed to hit. And it's like you can't live up to that kind of pressure and that kind of standard. And I think Gen Z doesn't know a world without that pressure that's on them to try to conform to some image that you've seen online or to be something that you feel like you're supposed to be, rather than what if you just did what God was calling you to do and that was enough? You know, like what if you just followed Jesus and that was enough? And it's like all those other things and all that ambition, you used it for the gospel instead of your own selfish gain. Like it could really be significant. I think about what Paul said, right? Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. It's like, where does ambition for something good and holy turn into selfish ambition? And I think that's the pressure that this generation is living under. So in the same way, it's like, man, I feel bad for them for that. But it's also, there's so much good that comes from that godly ambition to go change the world. If it was just directed in the right way, could be something really special.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes it really hard too, because you say godly ambition. What has God placed on your heart? What has He called you to do? But this is also the first generation that lives in a world where there's literally no absolute truth, where there's no right or wrong. It's whatever you feel, and that makes the world very confusing if you don't have right and wrong, if you don't have absolute truth. Because I could feel one way, you could feel another way, and yet somehow we're both right. Like, that just doesn't make sense. And I'm not going to get into the details of each of those things, but at some point you've got to say, no, here's truth. Here's what's real. But we live in a world today where it's like whatever each person feels, you're good, you're fine. And you guys are growing up in a world where that's completely normal.
Right.
I don't even know if you look on and you're like, oh, wow, I've never thought of that. That is weird. It could be the first time you've heard that, but it's crazy.
And what's sad about that, too, is in some ways, and this may just be conjecture here and me just kind of thinking out loud, but I think Gen Z has seen us and generations before us, you know, stand firm in truth, but then mistreat someone who doesn't. And so for them, that has driven them to walk away from truth in the name of loving someone or caring about someone and not wanting to offend them and disappoint them. And I think generations of the past have done a great job standing firm in truth, have failed to love and have compassion for people who disagree with them. And it's given the younger generation such a bad taste in their mouth that they want to reverse that. But the problem is they've gone to the other side of the pendulum, right? The pendulum swings the other way when you try to correct it. And so if we can come back to stand what Jesus did, full of grace and truth, standing firm in the truth of what God's word says, but still loving people and still taking care of people and still caring for others. Like if we can get back to that, I think it would be the perfect balance, you know, of standing firm in truth and also loving people well. Yeah. And Gen Z wants to they want to love everybody. They don't want to offend anyone. They don't think it's right to tell someone that they're wrong. It's like, you can still stand for truth and still love people. Yeah. It's possible. because the church has done it well in the past, and we can do it well again.
Yeah, that's exactly what Jesus did. He like called people out on their junk, but he loved people better than anyone else, served people better than anyone else.
Yeah.
But he was always ready to call people out too.
Yep.
No matter what their sin was, no matter what their struggle was.
Yeah.
He loved the heck out of you,
Yeah.
but also called you out.
Yeah. There's such an opportunity for this generation, I think, to embody that, to be the people who do that well. And so I'm excited to see what happens. It'll be cool.
I think it was interesting what you said too about like pressure and like the pressure that's not only like that they place on themselves, but even by like older generations. Like there's always that like that older generation that sees the mistakes that, you know, that they made. Not to say that any generation's perfect, because Gen Z is definitely not perfect too, but some of the older generations see some of the mistakes that they made. And they're like, hey, I don't want you, like, I didn't make very much money doing this, and I want you to be more financially successful, so I'm going to get you earlier on this track towards financial freedom or whatever it is, and it creates that kind of pressure.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of like self-placed, too, because like you said, Gen Z is so ambitious and, like, excited and passionate about doing things that they want to, like, do everything all at the same time, and it can create pressure when they don't do something well, and create this like false idea of like what success is like.
Yeah.
So I think that's really good. I'm excited for us to like dig more deeply into some of those ideas and topics, which we're going to do in the coming weeks. So just be on the lookout for that. But I really enjoyed hearing what you guys had to say about, you know, just the broad spectrum of like what Gen Z is.
I feel like we just scratched the surface.
Yeah.
Like, very, very minimal. Even what you just said about money being such a driving factor. Like how many conversations have we had with students? It's just like, I want to do this so that I can make money, but I'm really passionate about this.
Yeah, it's not my passion.
Man, I wonder if money wasn't a factor. If like if we just really trusted that God was going to take care of us and just did what He's calling us to do. And I don't know. I think that's a whole another trail that we could go down. So I'm excited to get more into it.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well, thank you guys for giving all your ideas and arguments about pizza and ice cream.
You're welcome.
What's one of the other like highly debatable
that we can talk about next time?
Debatable. Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to think of it.
Is cake good? Because
I feel like soda or coffee or something like that. If you had to pick
soda or coffee,
like to get rid of one, that'd be a toughie.
That would be tough.
That'd be hard. I'd have a hard time arguing.
I would have a hard time arguing.
Argue that in the comments.
I feel like I could argue either way.
And I'd be satisfied and sad either way.
Yeah, that would be really difficult.
Oof.
Is that next week?
All right, we'll see. We'll see. Thank you guys for joining. We'll see you next time. Outro. We don't have one. All right, peace, guys.
Why you podcast? Why you podcast?